Nyama, I will deliver on the news. This is absolutely insane. So I woke up to this. As you guys know, not the biggest fan of Kawhi Leonard, right? Like, I cherish Kawhi for his time with us. It's some core memories. I'm happy I didn't sell this, right? Can you guys see it on camera? Yeah, you can see it a little bit. Like, there's only like a few of these that were created. And they sent me one. Big All Star sent me one, and I could have got rid of it. And I was very upset with Kawhi when we traded him. But I'm happy that I didn't actually sell it, right? So I held on to it, and I was just like, hey, it'll just be part of our history or whatever, because I do have some fond memories. But man, oh man, when he left, it was not only just a void in my heart, but honestly, it was a little irritating, right? Because I felt as if this entire time, even with me hearing like exactly what was going on before it was announced, it seemed no fault of San Antonio's almost at all. And I felt like every single thing that was said after he left was post-talk justification for the leaving, right? You really want me to believe that, oh, that's what did it? Tony Parker saying a off the wall statement about Kawhi after he's been gone forever. Oh yeah, that's what got him to go, right? Oh, Popovich, looking mildly irritated. Manu Ginobili looking mildly irritated. Oh, the team asking if they could talk to Kawhi in the locker room. That's what did it. That's what really drove him to the get out of here, okay? It had nothing to do with nothing other than he wanted special treatment and he wanted to go to LA. And I got so tired and sick of every single news outlet other than Michelle Beadle basically saying, you know what? San Antonio should have really treated him like a superstar. And then you look at how the Raptors treated him, and you look at how the Clippers treated him, and it's like, you know what? This is too much. This is absolutely too much. In my opinion, and before we get into anything, I just want to put this out there, okay? Because it does bother me. I still think about it and it bothers me. When I think about a superstar and how you should treat them, I think about Tim Duncan, right? I think about a player where, yeah, he was low maintenance. I get it. I understand that. Not all superstars are that way. But how the Spurs treated him was like a superstar, right? Like, oh, he got yelled at by the coach. Okay, but what they did do was make sure he's untouchable. If he wants to leave, no, we're going to do everything we can to keep. That's superstar status. That's being treated like a superstar, right? Not just trading you off or giving you that respect and making sure this is your franchise and you have a say-so in who we grab and what we do. How they're treating Wembanyama right now. But when we start talking about, oh, he should get this like private jet and he should get some money under the table, because that's what we're about to talk about, I think, no, that's too much. And I thought it was too much at the time. And even as great as Kawhi was, I didn't think that the Spurs should have, well, he wasn't going to stay anyways, but I don't think the Spurs should have sold their soul just to hold on to Kawhi. Like, I don't think that. And obviously, we can look back and say, hey, we're good now. It's easy to say now, but it's the truth, man. It was absolutely ridiculous what happened and how this all unfolded. So you're probably tired of me yapping, right? What's that, about 4 minutes? That's about 4 minutes of yapping. We got some news. I woke up to this, and apparently Kawhi Leonard been a bad boy, okay? Kawhi Leonard been a very, very bad boy. And the Clippers have as well, mostly the Clippers. So apparently the Los Angeles Clippers, and I'll play the clips that we have here, but apparently the Los Angeles Clippers basically created like a fake company in order to endorse Kawhi so they can pay him more money, right? That can go past the salary cap. Very shady stuff. Last time it happened, who was it, chat? Minnesota, Josh Smith, maybe? And they had to give up like 5 first-round picks in a row. Don't know what would happen with the Clippers because they don't have first-round picks. So I have no idea what's going to happen. But let's go ahead and take a look. Actually, do we want to take a look at this one? Or because shout out to Josh Paredes. He did a really great job of like posting all of this stuff. He did like a little thread here. Hold on. I'm going to go straight to the video thread first and foremost. 4 minutes. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's listen. Some journalism.
Executives were suspicious of how
You guys can't hear that? All right, listen up.
Steve Ballmer's Clippers
You still can't hear that? I can't hear that.
landed the most valuable free agent on the market, Kawhi Leonard. That the NBA did not find that Ballmer got Kawhi by sweetening their offer. But also that in March 2025, this celebrity-endorsed, multi-billion-dollar, allegedly fraudulent tree brokerage named Aspiration, which promises to clear your conscience and your emissions, they filed for bankruptcy. And this is where the clue is. What David's looking at with his glasses on is a bankruptcy filing, and there's a list of creditors. The entities to which Aspiration, in all of their alleged fraudulence, still owes the most money. And what I noticed is what David is noticing right now, which is that on that list of creditors, up near the top, above the Boston Red Sox, is an LLC. A tiny little company that Aspiration owes $7 million. And that LLC's name, David, is what?
KL2 Aspire LLC.
Could you be any more on the nose? What?
And what does it list there under manager or member name?
Kawhi Leonard.
Whose NBA jersey number, just to connect all of the dots here, happens to be what?
Number 2.
So then the question is, the Aspire part of KL2 Aspire LLC, right? Because, okay, he's getting all this money, millions of dollars. What I started doing was scour the internet for any mentions of Aspiration. Any appearances, tweets, quotes,
Oh
Instagram
my
posts,
goodness.
anything by Kawhi Leonard
Suspend him for 2 years? You don't have to. He already suspends himself. He never plays.
endorsing Aspiration. And this was hard to find, which also might seem weird, right? Because every other celebrity Aspiration gave money to was well known. There was Drake offering a statement to Rolling Stone. There was Doc Rivers, Kawhi's own head coach. Robert Downey Jr. was cutting his commercial. That was the whole point of paying the A-list Avengers. But the grand total number of times that I found Kawhi Leonard ever publicly referencing Aspiration, 0 times.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. If you're getting paid for an endorsement, where's the endorsing? Where's the endorsing? He doesn't mention them one time. That's so sus, bro.
Kawhi Leonard mentioned Aspiration. And so what I started doing was reaching out to dozens
My
of
goodness.
former Aspiration employees.
Oh my
A
goodness.
grand total of 7 of them ultimately agreed to interviews, which is also how I have exclusively obtained this signed and executed document.
In consideration of the rights and benefits granted to company hereunder, the company will pay KL2, which is Kawhi, $28 million in cash during the term of this agreement.
Hold on. Come to $7 million each year of the term. The payment shall be made quarterly and appears. All payments will be wire transfers. And another thing as well, when it comes down to this, and I think they're going to get into it, but it's also in the contract that he doesn't even have to play. He just, as long as he's with the Clippers, he'll get paid. It's insane.
Company will pay KL2 $7 million each year of the term.
That is Kawhi Leonard's autograph. I convinced one very important person who worked in the finance department of Aspiration to go on tape.
And I didn't so much as discover it as I was told about it.
What was your reaction? What were you told?
My reaction was, what the f***? And I was told, oh, these are the major contracts and the major players you really need to be aware of. And we went through a litany of, really, really top tier name contracts. And then, oh, by the way, we also have
This person's going to be outed, bro. They have a certain cadence to the way that they speak. I hope they're not outed. I hope that they're going to be all right. But hey, former employees, so I guess they're cool. But yeah, I mean, that cadence, I'm sure if you worked with this person, you know exactly. It's a little too obvious. Is that yeah, it's me.
marketing deal with Kawhi Leonard, a $28 million organic marketing sponsorship deal with Kawhi, and that if I had any questions about
It's me.
essentially don't because it was to circumvent the salary cap. LOL. There was lots of LOL when things were shared.
Did you ever see proof of Kawhi Leonard marketing or endorsing aspiration in any way?
Never, not once. The single largest payment to an individual for marketing that aspiration ever made has completely evaded all press.
That is so crazy. That is absolutely so crazy. Did he say the most money they spent? Hold on.
Marketing or endorsing aspiration in any way?
Never, not once. The single largest payment to an individual for marketing that aspiration ever made has completely evaded all press.
Yikes.
It's honestly incredible. Nothing. He didn't have to do anything.
In other words, Kawhi Leonard got from aspiration a $28 million no-show job.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm honestly so jealous. So jealous. I mean, he's got the dream. Like, it's within my beliefs to be paid $28 million and do absolutely all as well.
The Clippers, however,
That's so bad, bro. That is so bad. The Clippers are already like basically a poverty franchise. Shout out to their stadium though. Their stadium's pretty awesome, but this is a pretty poverty franchise. This should probably destroy them, right? Like we're not gonna see them be anywhere near well, we haven't seen them anywhere near a championship, but we're definitely not gonna see them anywhere near a championship in the next like decade, bro. Like this is so bad.
a statement on behalf of the organization and owner Steve Ballmer, which reads in part, quote, "Neither Mr. Ballmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false."
Where did that come from? Yeah, absolutely insane. So just going through what our very own posted here. I want to just look through the thread that he posted. So this is from Josh Paredes. And he says here. So he showed everything from 2019 on. He says Kawhi Leonard and Uncle Dennis scandal investigations rumors thread. December 2019, the NBA investigates improper benefit requests by Kawhi's Uncle Dennis. These include part ownership of I remember that. You guys remember that? When he wanted to own part of the team? Absolutely crazy. But yeah, the San Antonio Spurs are the ones that were in the wrong here. It didn't matter what we did, guys. It didn't matter what we did. He wasn't going to stay in San Antonio. People even tried to say, well, Kawhi really wanted Paul George there, and the Spurs didn't do what they could to bring him there. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have won anything with Paul George. And yeah, no, that's not the reason. But you can throw us under the bus all you want. They kept Kawhi's image pretty nice for a while. A source said Robertson made those requests reportedly to owner Jenny Buss over the course of 3 phone calls that spanned several days, and that she made it clear that such perks were illegal and would not be considered. Oh my God. From the same article, what's more, sources said that Robertson, that's Uncle Dennis, made similar requests of the Raptors. We knew about that one. As one prominent agent said at the time about the league's renewed focus on laying down the law over the summer, this is because of Dennis. He didn't know the rules. This league-wide discussion is all because of Uncle Dennis. Moving on, after today's story, all right, so the Kawhi Leonard story broke, longtime plugged-in radio host John Gambadoro mentioned he heard Toronto. I was reading this as a name, guys. I'm so stupid. Toronto. I was like, Tarantino? Indeed, bent over backwards for Kawhi, and still left for LA after winning the title in his lone season with the Raptors. Let's see. The story is fascinating. From what I know from sources, when Kawhi signed with the Clippers, the Toronto owner, Larry Tannenbaum, was beside himself because he believed he bent over backwards for Kawhi. This is what I was trying to say. It didn't matter. You know what? This is okay. I'll say this in a minute, but this is a character thing. This is a character thing here, man. One thing that really bothers me is immense greed, and it seems like Kawhi and his uncle and his team. It's just so much greed, man. It drives me crazy. And screw the Clippers ownership as well. If everything is 100% true, but that's very sussy. Anyways, including calling 3 sponsors to meet Kawhi's demands of an extra $15 million in endorsement money. This was brought to the attention of Adam Silver as a concern over the cheating going on in the league being out of control, but no action was taken as it was thought Tannenbaum didn't truly understand the rules, only a promise to get more serious about it in the future. So moving on, and then it just talks about how he laid out, what happened, and yeah, and what is this? I actually don't know what this is.
Guess who comes calling, according to our reporting? Uncle Dennis. And guess who is...
Wait. Uncle Dennis called them because of this reporting? Oh, my God.
That is happening, and the company can't pay its bills. Guess who comes calling, according to our reporting? Uncle Dennis. And guess who is characterized as priority number 1 inside of this broken company but Dennis Robertson, who they say we had to attend to as if he was the most powerful person in our Rolodex. And so there's a lot that you could claim about we didn't know anything, but big picture, the relationship between Ballmer as an investor and aspiration, the relationship between aspiration as a sponsor of the Clippers, the relationship between Uncle Dennis in the contract and Kawhi Leonard to aspiration. I just feel like I can't, if I could get you 4,000 documents, I would.
Yeah.
I had to top out at 3,500,
I think the story
listen,
could
Pablo,
be Uncle Dennis gets paid, right? That's the through line of this entire Kawhi Leonard saga to a certain degree.
I might have joked with the guys offline, Pablo. I wanted to welcome you to the team and say thank you so much. I thought my days of leaving unanswered voicemails for Uncle Dennis were over until this. Got to pull that number out of the book.
Oh, I wish I had the privilege. We called him, we left messages, nothing from Uncle Dennis. And by the way, the guy he is both the loudest possible and worst possible ambassador you could have as a guy trying to do secret deals. But also, to his credit, not a lot of photos of him online. You kind of gotta, if you know him. It's been strange. He's been dancing between the raindrops, Sam.
Absolutely terrible stuff. So yeah, I my bias, because I'm gonna have bias when it comes to this, is automatically say it's all true, right? And my bias isn't completely unfounded, right? We've had so many situations leading up to now that suggest that they are very money hungry. Uncle Dennis is awful. And Kawhi Leonard, I mean, he just kind of lets it happen, and I guess he's cool with it. I mean, it's just so much greed, man. Just so much greed. So hold on. I think I had a few other things I wanted to glance at on my own page because I saved it. Let's see here. Because we had someone talking about it. Here we go. So this isn't the only bombshell that's going to be dropped. Wait, what is this?
Aspiration, despite all of this, had a top priority in October 2022 internally.
Okay, never mind. That was what we just listened to. Here we go. He followed up on it. And he said that there's more investigating that might be out there.
Person gets outed now.
Why is the audio so low? I swear, guys, I got it up all the way. It's not me.
It feels like it's safe to out other people.
Yeah. The difference here, and by the way, it's funny. My tip line has never been more used by enemies of Jalen Brunson, right? Look into that one, right? As well as at James Harden.
Is there something in there with Jalen Brunson?
Well, look, how he arrived at the Knicks, this is where I will have to defer to the reporting I may or may not do on this. Certainly was interesting, right? Okay, that's a pretty good deal for the Knicks. Has some, whatever. Anyway, I don't want to get ahead of myself in terms of
That's
that.
a tease,
Well,
though. That's a tease.
It's a bit of a tease.
Okay.
All right, so now he's going to look into the Knicks as well with Jalen Brunson. So anyways, I just want to say that I think it's absolutely ridiculous when everyone or anyone takes the side of Kawhi Leonard. We've had Steven Jackson do it. We know that Danny Green is close to Kawhi, so he's had his back throughout all this. But I'm sorry, dude. As a fan, or even outside of that, if I'm just paying attention to what's going on and what happened and how he left and how it went about, I'm sorry. There is nothing. I watched every Spurs game. I kept up with what was going on, how the Spurs treated him. I thought was incredible. Oh, sorry, my cat's on the keyboard. How they treated him, I thought was incredible. Like, one thing in particular that comes to mind is the fact that we were in the Western Conference Finals after the Zaza Pachulia incident. Kawhi Leonard could have went back into the game. I think game 3, I think he was cleared. I'm pretty sure it was game 3. And Popovich said no, right? Made sure that he sat and made sure that he stayed healthy. And there were many instances of that, of the Spurs trying to, take care of Kawhi and had his best interests in mind. But unfortunately, his crew, and he is an adult, right? So I'm not going to just sit here and just say it's all Uncle Dennis. Like, Kawhi Leonard is an adult. We didn't know a lot about him. We just knew that he played really hard when he was on the court. But all of this, I think it is a character thing, man. I think it's all about money. I think it's all about, someone in the chat said power. I think it's all that, bro. I think it's all that. He wanted to be treated like a superstar, but he wanted to be treated like no superstar has ever been treated ever. Like, it seemed like his treatment was better than Michael Jordan's treatment. Like, I don't know. This is absolutely ridiculous. So, seems like they're going to get in a lot of trouble, right? And we'll just see what comes from it. But the fact that he had literally an endorsement of $28 million is mind-blowing, and not mentioning it at all when it's your endorsement doesn't make sense at all. So they can sit back and say, hey, no, that's not true, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be more come out of it and we'll hear more. But anyways, you let me know what you think of this, but I think it's absolutely crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy.